Hey everybody, welcome back. We're once again here with a Fallen Esports co-stream, and this time I am joined by the lovely Sif. Hello Sif and welcome.
Hello. Glad to be here. Very excited to be here. Very excited to be here for my team. Been so proud of them throughout the season, so I'm looking forward to being able to watch in real time. Watch my boys perform here.
And I mean, speaking of the team, let's take a look at the roster here for the Fallen, Sif.
Yes, absolutely. So we have a little bit of switchy in the lineup today. So we have our lovely Victory and our Hitscan DPS there, our Martian with our Flex DPS, and then Boot Shop. Or potentially we do have our Ghost in as our second take option. And then our backline with the Benji and Catch backline. They can really work, do some fun things with that backline. So I'm definitely excited to see what they pull off for this map.
Heck yeah, and of course, facing off on the other side of things, it's going to be Laika, a pretty well-known team here if you've been following along in the FACEIT Masters Division for a couple of seasons. Winter, Cinnabar, Hitori, Juno, and Lampent. And on the bench, they do have Lau, Dead, and Sawhill as well. And Sif, we do know where we're going to be going for map number 1. It's of course going to be a control map, and Laika has selected
Antarctic. I don't think I've actually seen an Antarctic map this season. I've been a little busy to pay attention, so I'm curious to see what people are on this map these days.
Right? I feel like it's pretty hard to contend with an Ilios Oasis in the mix as well. Of course, you know, Antarctic getting that rework, I guess, a little while ago now, but still maybe not as familiar for these teams as the other maps are. And, well, we've gotten the invite to the lobby here, so we are just about ready to head into the match. Important to note is that we do have hero bans, of course, so Laika started out with the Mauga ban, and then the Fallen are going to hit back with the Mizuki ban.
Interesting. Catching out my tank early, I see. They're trying to make us make some moves over here.
A little target ban? Is that what I'm hearing? Yeah.
A little bit of a target ban, just a smidgen.
Yeah, and so of course after the hero bans come through, there is the opportunity to make those lineup swaps, and there has been a lineup swap for the Fallen, and Ghost is going to be coming in
Ghosty
for
boy
this
is going in. Perfect.
Makes sense, of course, since, yeah, a little bit of a target ban there, but
my boot shop does love the silly Mauga.
So, all right, we'll throw it back to our cameras here just while we're waiting. Laika is currently waiting for 2 members to connect to the lobby, so they do have a little bit of time to make that happen. Everybody from the Fallen, though, they have made it here on time. They are waiting. And I think while we're waiting for them, I'd love to just take a look at the Fallen's kind of track record here, because I got to co-stream the last match, unfortunately did not end in a win, so the Fallen's definitely looking to kind of bounce back here and try and find a win on the table.
Yeah, for sure. We are definitely wanting to get a little bit closer to that 3-3 ratio that we're looking for. I do know we have some hopeful matchups coming up that we're feeling very confident into. So we do know this will be a good little challenge for us. We are very excited to go up against this team. It was unfortunately a little pushed back, so we had a little more time to prepare, I think so. But yeah, no, I'm very excited to see what we can whip out here to hopefully bring our wins a little more positive there.
Absolutely. Okay, everybody is in the lobby now, so let's head into Antarctic Peninsula, and a reminder to everyone that there's no Mauga and there's no Mizuki here, so we're going to have to see what compositions these teams are going to cook up on Icebreaker.
Ready for battle.
Oh, they're cooking, Sif.
Oh, I told you. I bet he's gonna stay on it. I guarantee you. Yeah, yep. Most definitely.
I love the combination of the Roadhog and the Junkrat. Yeah, I feel like there's some
you'll just one-shot everybody. It's fine. What could go wrong?
Some definite synergy there. On the other side of things, Laika, on that Sigma composition, have been seeing a whole lot of Sigma, and Sawhill, like I mentioned, on that bench is coming in for this first map, so interesting to see the lineups shift around for both of these teams.
Yeah, absolutely. Interesting to see the Lucio into the cat here, seeing what maybe the cat might harass the backline a little bit.
Yeah, Cinnabar on that jetpack cat. Ooh, Ghost falls very, very low. Actually, is taken down early here. So first blood going over to Laika here. The point not quite unlocked just yet. They're really looking to find another kill here to cement this fight win, as that is going to be the immediate swap over onto the Hazard. Benji maybe looking for an environmental kill there, but yeah, not against that jetpack cat.
got their speakers turned all the way up. Could hear Benji hiding in the corner there.
Absolutely. All right, now Laika is, of course, in control of the point right now. Holding up some good percentage here. Sawhill has that kinetic grasp forced out, but still cycling through the shield very, very well. Ghost goes in deep with that violent lead. That immediately gets thrown down once again. You can see how much focus fire is going on to the tank of the Fallen right now, and everybody from the Fallen just corralled into a corner here as Laika once again gonna come out with a fight win. All right, the Cassidy coming in as well, and didn't mention it, but we get to see the Xion on both sides as well. Pretty fun. Here's the dead eye fun if you're Laika, but run for cover if you're the Fallen. Ooh, great TP.
Ooh, good little TP there.
Right
Good
catch.
little TP there, for
Staying
sure.
alive through that, but Martian on cleanup duty right now, so this should be a coin flip here for the Fallen.
It's a very good dodge from my flex support on that. Perfect timing on that TP for the cat noon, and it does look like we do have some rushes coming up. We'll see if we're gonna get a match going on here. Probably want to build that beat as well, and maybe try to get a high noon for some space up around here.
Right, yeah, the Fallen are working with so much right now. It's really big that they didn't have to use an ult in that last fight, but it's going to be the rush out from Juno first. Immediately Catch is going to match that point percentage building here, and I mean, Laika just takes it more or less for free. So right now, onus is on the Fallen to use one of these ults that they have online to take this back to the off for the beat. Oh, immediately the Flux connects on to Ghost. Ghost yes, all committed in as well. Ghost is going to find the double here, but the majority of the damage done by Martian and Victory, and this is going to open up the door for the Fallen to get back in control of this point.
That was a little of a scary moment there with the beat engage to the immediate flex, but a little bit. I think in terms of ult, I think Fallen does have the advantage here with that downpour over the catnap here. So we just have a good little intro with that downpour to secure the point for us.
Yeah, it's a good point. Laika committed a lot of ults into that, and ooh, early first pick over to Victory here. So more percentage on the board for the Fallen. More of a chance to build up some of these other ults that are just lagging behind a little bit right now. Ooh, another late kill. Catch gonna find the head of Lambit, and so far so good for the Fallen to try and gain the lead.
I will say, Laika's Cassidy is building up to that high noon again, so they may be able to get an opening with that here. They can try to fade it for him.
Tori's trying to build this up. We saw them go for the cat noon last time. We'll have to see if Laika's gonna opt for it again. Cinnabar does have that catnap ready to go as well. Violently in! Catnap! Oh, it's gonna connect on to Ghost. Is Ghost gonna be able to stay alive? The violent leap's gonna make sure the tank survives. Ooh, in a tiny room with this hazard, not the place you want to be. And yeah, Ghost gonna secure those kills. The team kill here, as I don't think that anybody from Laika can touch.
We're getting that Lucy. Beautiful, beautiful. Yes, but yeah, we had some very good ult advantage for that last half, the latter half of that point there. We just had a better ult economy, just in terms of the downpour versus the catnap, and then if you don't get your high noon in there, there's not much of a threat anymore.
That's true. Yeah, honestly, I was a little bit nervous, you know, when 4 ultimates got dumped into the fight for Fallen, but they did a great job building up those ultimates, and then Ghost on the hazard, you know, coming back after getting catnapped. Really great stuff for the team to start out. Close sub-map, though, so we'll head over to labs here, and we'll see if Laika's going to be able to tie us up and send us to that 3rd point.
Yeah, I was a little scared. I did see the leap right before that catnap came down. I was like, I don't know if the leap's gonna come back up in time. Okay, let's see. Any changes? No, I don't think there's any changes. Same comps on both sides here.
Yep. All right, for the Fallen, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Ghost is gonna go in for that violent leap early. Again, so much damage onto this hazard as soon as a single cooldown's used. But Catch and Benji doing a good job keeping Ghost healed up here. And as the point's gonna unlock, it is gonna be Laika that are getting themselves set up on the point first here. You can see that the Fallen looking to take some angles. They're playing patient here. They're okay with letting the flip go over if it means that they can find the opening kill here. Marching set up on this angle, trying to find it, waiting for the go button. That is Ghost violently. Here's the jump in. Unfortunately, Ghost pushed into a corner here. Catch has to TP in, but not able to keep the hazard alive through it. Hitori with a double kill here. It's even numbers. This victory's going to hit back. DPS for the Fallen still alive on this point, but Hitori's not done. She will take one more down. However, Martian still standing. He's going to at least get the point flip here for the Fallen.
I always love having an aggressive tank, just like going, this is our go button, this is where we go, and our backlines are doing a great job building up that outcharge, keeping our tank alive, and getting their cooldowns out. It's very, very important with this comp to make sure that all their cooldowns are up before we go in. Oh, and nice little pick here.
True.
Here comes the cat noon.
That's the cat noon. That's exactly what Laika were looking for, but the spike guard from Ghost is going to keep him alive. Jedi out now from Victory and willing to hold on to this, zoning everybody into the corner. However, the damage coming through from Cinnabar there is going to find a second one as well. But the point still in control of the Fallen right now. Sawkill building up to this flux. He's going to find that kill onto the Cassidy. Looking good here for Laika to flip things over, and just shy of 50%. The Fallen will have to let that go over.
I think that's a good battle for us. We used not too many ults. We just used our high noon for a little zoning ult there, and we got a good percentage. So I'm excited to see what we whip out with. But they do have that cat map, so we gotta be careful with our leaps around here.
Oh, so true. We know Cinnabar's looking, and Cinnabar does find it. Immediately gets punished. Excellent heal there from Victory, and Lampin over on the main now as well. Is going to taste a little bit of Satsuki spree. Kitsune rush from Patch, allowing the Fallen to just march straight on to this point, and they're gonna flip it over just like that.
Okay, it doesn't look like we will have a beat ready for Sawhill's Flux for this next fight, so we do want to make sure we don't get poked out a little too early. Don't want to force the beat too soon. But ult advantage is definitely in our favor at the moment.
Yep, totally agree. The Fallen just have to make sure the timing is right. Oh, they a big wall, but Ghost is going to be able to find their way out of that. There's the Flux in, connects on to two. Nice beat. That's exactly what Benji needed. Now the downpour does get eaten up by Ghost there, but Victory still holding on to that Deadeye. There's going to be trades that come through, but Martian going to be able to clean up a couple of those late kills, especially with Sawhill out of the fight. And Hitori, who has been absolutely dominating on the damage side of things for the side of Laika. Once again, it is looking dire for Laika to even get a touch here. It is going to be Cinnabar on the Lucio off of that jetpack. Had the boom comes through, but overtime will be triggered by the Lucio from Laika. However, will the reinforcements arrive in time? Sawhill back. Gonna be able to get another touch, but it's just lambs to the slaughter. As Martian finding that headshot. Overtime gone, and that is a 2-0 victory here on Antarctic for the Fallen.
Ooh, I have chills. No pun intended. No.
Right?
Interesting. I was interested to see them whip out the Mei for that, maybe for that wall-on-wall battle type thing, just to kind of make things a little more even for their team, but I Fallen just really used our ults very well in our favor to just always be able to back up our own teammates.
Yeah, oh, totally agree. Fantastic showing from the Fallen. I mean, let's take a look at the scoreboard here. Martian, 22-1 across 2 points. Now, that is somebody that has a great understanding of how to play the newest hero.
I will agree with that. I do recall watching Martian play, I think, on Circuit a couple games ago, and I was just like, oh, wow. I don't think I'm gonna handle on the character that soon.
Right? It's terrifying. The survivability of the Xion is absolutely incredible, like when it's in the right hands. So great stuff here for the Fallen, starting out with 1 point, and of course that was also Laika's map pick, important to note. So since Laika did lose that one, they are going to be once again in control of the map pick, and they already know where they want to take us. We're going to head over to a Flashpoint map. We're going to get to go to Surabasa.
They will have the bans in their favor as well. I do wonder if they're going to try to target ban one of our favorite little fast comps here, see what the Mauga is in play. So we will be able to see a Mauga comp if they don't take something else from us that we need with it. But I think there's lots of different possibilities with our Mauga comps now where you can kind of switch it around a little bit. I think it's not too dire to be missing anybody.
Yeah, that's a good point. I feel like I have seen the Fallen's backline just have so much flexibility in the matches that I've seen, is that like even if like one of the sports gets banned out, being able to flex from like the Lucio Kiriko onto the Juno Brig, there we got to see the Mizuki Kiriko. Like I feel like the backline for the Fallen, it's gonna be really hard to kind of target ban one of those supports.
If I found the other team right now, I want to shut down Martian. That's as much as I can. That would be my goal at this point. I think I would not be surprised to see a Shion ban come out here.
Yeah, that's so true. Yeah, one death throughout that. I mean, definitely speaks to how strong Martian is, but also like I'm gonna shout out Catch and Benji once again because like those supports are keeping you going for sure. All right, we have the bans in. And it is going to be the Lucio banned out from the side of Laika. And in response, it's going to be a Reaper ban that comes through for the side of the Fallen.
Reaper? He's got that high damage with the shotguns coming in from the side. Reaper is definitely a very scary matchup into that Mauga pit. So that's definitely a good little get that guy out of here.
I gotta agree with you, especially because lineups have been finalized. Boot Chop is coming back in for this one. So I suspect that we could see a little bit of a Mauga comp here on Suravasa.
Or we could be surprised.
That's right. Boot Chop has flexibility, I'm sure. Speaking of Boot Chop, that is the one player that we're just waiting to get into the lobby. Surely they're around.
He took a nap.
That is typical tank player. Or maybe, you know, eating a snack. I feel like tank players, like, they like their snacks. I feel like that also happens.
As a new tank player, Ryan, do you also like to snack in between?
That's true. I do like to snack. I actually don't have any snacks at my desk, but like very often there would be a snack at my desk. I probably just
every
ate them
death
all.
take a bite.
Yeah, exactly. That is the goal. All right, we've loaded in. All right, let's head into Suravasa. The Fallen up 1-0 here. And a reminder as well to everybody that this is a best of 5, so it's going to be a first to 3 that gets to take the win here in our Masters Division match. All right, yes, no Lucio and no Reaper as well, so we'll get to see what these teams are going to cook up. I'm wondering if Laika are going to stick with this Sigma composition. They do have Sawhill still in, so potential.
Ready for battle.
Surely they'll stay on the Mercy this time.
Benji is dying to play some Mercy. Like, this is a cry for help.
just once, right? Just once.
All right.
Okay, looks like we're keeping the Sigma comp over here on that side. That Sigma with the Mizuki instead. Okay. I do enjoy some Mizuki gameplay. I do, but we do have that benefit with the speed. Oh, she's going. Wuyang.
Oh, okay. I was more so expecting to see that Brig, but I actually really like the Wuyang coming out in response, or it will be in response to this more potent composition that Laika's running here. And speaking of Laika, they have the Tori on this Symmetra. They stuck with it. It's not just the TP out, but you come out of that TP and you're immediately getting slammed down. Boot Chop, 16 HP is going to be the focus fire here. This Laika team, so great at focusing down those tanks early on. Juno with the headshot is going to find another Elim onto this Fallen squad. The point claimed in favor of Laika, and that's going to be a regroup coming through for Fallen.
There's a very big cleanse from Juno here. Already at 40% ult charge going up here, just keeping their team alive from that Mauga pin.
A touch on the point from Boot Chop, but I think realized that the team wasn't quite set up to go in for the engage, but Martian is in position now, holding down this angle. Lampin trying to pressure the Shion out, but he's going to come up against those dual weapons and back on out. Cinnabar on this Mizuki, looking to chain down one of these targets that come in for the engage. Martian, there's the first blood that the Fallen were looking for. Excellent start. Now they got to chain a little something else together here to try and get the point flip. Sahil, a slur HP and a bonk on the head. The Sigma's back in the spawn, and that's gonna be it. Fight wins here, 78%, and we can go back to spawn and regroup.
I think it does have that opportunity here to retake this point very, very quickly with this rush coming up. We do not quite have the backline ults up yet to, I think, survive the rush here.
Yeah, good point. It's gonna have to be a pretty quick disengage, I think, to come through from the Fallen patch. Of course, while that Judo does have the speed ring to allow for a bit of mobility here on this composition. But Laika making this far rotation around the side. They're looking to just put a red carpet towards the point, but nobody from the Fallen is there. They've made the rotation, and now there is that Kitsune rush, but Fallen's not playing inside of it. Victory, unfortunately, is going to suffer at the hands of Lampit here, who has an overclock of their own to work with the Tidal Blast. He just sidestepped there, and though it's looking pretty red in the kill feed, it is going to be at least a little bit of overtime triggered here for the Fallen, but the bodies are not there to keep it going, and that is going to be Market picked up by Laika.
Yeah, Laika is doing a great. Not having that speed, their movement with their sim TPs are really kind of catching us off guard a little bit.
It's a good point.
Flex coming up, and no beat to protect us from it, so we shall see how safe we play. Or even maybe to build a cage to try to counteract that flex, just try to protect our team a little bit more.
Right, the high ground here on Palace, in control of Laika, but Boot Chop set up on this point, a very strong presence for them to deal with. There's the Suzuki-3 gonna take down Lampit, and so much damage done onto the squishies of Laika. The bike to get out, looking to maybe find a hit, and excellent chunk of damage done by Martian there, and that will give the Fallen the first cap here on Palace.
Beautiful to learn, getting that bike, getting that perfect opportunity to just catch Laika off guard and just kind of full send it.
Yeah.
I do enjoy watching my boys full send it.
And full send it without using all the ults, right? Having that cage fight and the orbit, very good for this next fight. Alright, rotation through the sides here for Laika. Have that flux ready to go. The TP up onto the high ground, going to avoid that stop that comes through from Boot Chop, but Boot Chop catches out Juno, the Kiriko, not going through that TP. Flux connects onto two, the cage, not going to connect onto Sawhill, but it does give a nice little shield here for Boot Chop to deal with. Martian would end up getting traded out there, but the numbers advantage are in the favor of the Fallen, and the point control still in Fallen's favor here, and at 85% and counting. It's looking a little desperate here for Laika to find their way onto the point. It's going to be the Kikai Sanctuary connecting onto the point. The chain finds victory as well, but there's that orbit. Catched outside, but orbit's still alive on the point. Hattori has found two, and the DPS have come alive to keep Laika in this point at 99% though. Fallen and put themselves at a pretty good spot.
I was waiting for the Mizuki to hurt our Sojourn ult a little bit, but we did have to use it to touch point. So now we're in a position where we have a free, somewhat free, overclock here for this next fight.
True. Yep. Just got to get a regroup going, and the Fallen will have an opportunity to break into this point. One fight is all they need to claim Palace and tie us up here on Surabasa. Walking into a lot though, and Sahil has already taken down Boot Chop. The TP from Hattori is going to allow Laika to push even further forward. And it's all about just buying time here if you're Laika. You want to hold as close as possible so you have a good chance to try and force something out while the Fallen are still in their spawn.
Point is ticking, and Laika is almost close to having almost 5 ults up here. Oh, there's a does get out.
Yep, there's the
And match with the wall.
Yeah, Tidal Blast is in, it's good. Onto Boot Chop. Hey, makes a whole lot of space for victory to pop off. Lampit is going to use the overclock to try and hit back. Does find one here, but it is all blue in that kill feed. An absolute waterfall here for the Fallen, and overtime gone. The team kill for them as they tie us up on Surabasa.
Did see the rush have the rush OC, a little bit of an OC battle again, and victory came out on top for this one. Lovely to see. We I do want to see us build a cage to hopefully negate that flux again. Bootchop a great cage to protect their team that first time, so... And flux is all they have, so I do anticipate a quick little retake here.
Yeah, especially over on Ruins now. Definitely a more enclosed point compared to the last two. I think that Bootchop's gonna have a little bit easier of a time finding the damage. Unfortunately, Revengy not gonna be in this fight for now, as it's gonna be the stop in from Bootchop. Has that cage built up, but Lambit has found another kill here. There's the Suzuki Rush though. Martian, good for the damage in the fight. It's even numbers here, looking to find an limb onto Cinnabar. Has that teleport forced out? The Suzuki's so low with Quiver and HP, but hits the chain somehow. Does end up falling, however, though, when the point has not yet been capped by Laika. Victory back into the Bootchop is here as well. It's a cage on the point to deny the capture for Laika, and the Fallen, they're going to get control of Ruins first.
And that early flip is definitely good for us, but they still do have this flux online, and we do not really have anything to counter it. So I do hope we might have to play a little more spread out just to force only one person to hopefully be the sacrificial lamb for Sawhill flux.
Alright, Bootchop's gonna get a little charge through. Ball's quite low, but nearly an ult battery. Well, there's the sacrificial lamb. It is gonna be Bootchop. Orbit committed in from Catch, and Bootchop is still alive through it somehow. It is going to be a stun onto Sawhill there, and Victory's gonna find that kill onto the tank. So Lisa down their tank. They're gonna use the overclock from Lambit, but it immediately gets shut down. Bootchop sending that Sojourn back to the spawn. Victory didn't even have to use the overclock of their own.
Bootchop is very patient with their shout there. They still had their shout which before they bought Flux, and the Juno ult just kept them alive through it all.
Really good stuff.
Golf claps to our backline. We love our backline.
Absolutely. Overtime comes out. Victory is going to pop this overclock in response to Bootchop falling and like a rush. However, it is already down 2 here for the Fallen. So Victory is going to back out, try to get out alive. It's enemy territory right now. Yeah, Hitori's gonna TP on, finds Martian as well, but 99% is a very good start here on this point.
I agree, especially with their ults coming up here. We do have our Wu Yang ult coming up here, so we could definitely do a very aggressive engage with our Bootchop. Very close to that cage as well, and they just have the wall. They just have their sim wall to kind of negate any tough engage we might do here, but I do think it does go in the favor of Benji getting a little low.
Really wants to hit this Tidal Blast onto Bootchop, but only once that engage is ready to go. Once all the cooldowns are ready, that's when they're looking for it.
Alright, Bootchop has everything ready, even as the speed train to work with Tidal Blast onto the Sigma. It's a bait though! Hitori's gonna use the teleport. They saw hell, and Lambit's gonna find one. Sinwall to split the cage in half, and Bootchop not gonna be able to survive through that one. Martian dying as well, wasn't able to get that Satsuki spree online, which has saved the team in these tricky situations time and time again. And unfortunately for the Fallen, not able to trigger the overtime, as we are going to be heading over to Temple for our fourth and maybe last point here if Laika can capture it.
Hitori very strong on this matchup with their TPs, getting their teams to new places, getting their teams out of tricky spots. That's beautiful, beautiful use of that teleport there.
Yeah, alright, and it looks like Laika is going to get set up on Temple first here. Have some of those ults to make it hard for the Fallen to push into things. It is going to be Martian on a bit of an angle here. Hey, taking attention away for sure. There's the overclock, and Limp actually chasing Martian down. So it's going to be an orbit on the point here from Catch. There is the Flux, a solo Flux onto Bootchop once again here. And fortunately for the Fallen, gonna have to eat that ult fight, and it's gonna be like gaining first percentage here.
Martian's waiting for that opportunity to catch them off guard to come in with this shield ult. They do have Juno with their Kiriko ult coming up here. And that wall again can really do some damage to our engages, especially with the double guns here with the Mauga.
a little stuck onto a corner there, but I think it's probably going to work out in the favor of Bootchop here. Yeah, they're going to look to just go for the reset as it is going to be another fight win here for Laika, and very close to capping this last point. And if Laika caps this up, we will be tied here in our series. Also one here for Fallen to re-engage with, but that wall, like you mentioned, Sif, Hitori's gonna have that online. So now in an overtime situation, the Fallen have to find their way onto point. There's the overclock out, and it's a sim wall in response. Martian's gonna use the Suzuki Spree. So much damage on the point, but not finding any limbs and not finding another touch as Laika will claim Surabasa and put us at 1-1 in this series.
Very, very hard fought points on both sides. Just like you're always having that sim TP to bail out their team whenever we get that hard engage. Because with this Malga comp, you are going in and you're not turning around. So they are very good at poking out our poor little Bootchop here anytime he tries to go for that engage. And as much as our backline does do their darndest to keep him up, it is a lot of damage with that sim beam and that Mizuki chain, and even with the Sojourn as well, and it's a lot of damage to go through for sure.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So, tied game here, and hey, this does mean that the Fallen are going to be in control of the map pick, at least. So, having a nice little advantage for them to work with. They're, of course, going to be in control of the mode as well. They have opted to take us over to Escort, and we are going to be heading over to Circuit Royale for map number 3.
My prediction was correct. I was like, I think we're gonna pull out a circuit here.
Yep.
And I do wonder if what our band's gonna be looking at around here, because I do believe in our DPS.
Yes.
Especially it's a very DPS heavy map coming up here. So I do wonder if they're gonna try to protect that Shion van.
Right? Yeah, that's a big thing too, as like being in control of the map pick does mean that you get that first ban as well. And well, the Fallen are actually not going to go for a protect ban. They are going to ban the Sigma here, and then in response, we're going to see a Widowmaker ban come through from Laika.
Okay. The Sig ban is that we have seen Sig on every map so far, so I think there's like, we'll take them to a Sig map and then take it away from them.
I think it's pretty smart. I really do. We'll have to see, what comp Laika's gonna have to pivot over to, because you're totally right. We have seen the Sig in both of the maps so far. So coming over to like the Sig map and taking it away, I think it's gonna be a little tricky here. Have a little side swap as well.
Ready for battle.
All right, yeah, Laika's on the defense first, and okay, Sahil walking out of spawn with the Orisa here instead of that Sigma.
And we do see a Ghost back in on the tank slot to the Fallen here. Into an Orisa. I sense a hazard coming.
Yes, there's still time, Ghost. You can still swap.
There's still time. Okay, and we get to see some Sierra gameplay.
Yeah.
Very high damage into drilling everything into the tank. So she's very strong in that regard.
True. I feel like I don't necessarily get to see a whole lot of Sierra, so this will be interesting to see how Hitori works around it. And okay, well, Ghost is on the Doomfist at least to start here. Now, though, is going to be aware of the composition that Laika's rolling out with, so we'll have to see if the swap does end up coming through, especially Cinnabar is still on this Mizuki as well, so that chain is going to be so deadly if you go in for a dive. Oh, and you're going to be the first target there, Cinnabar. Does manage to survive that punch. But this is a lot of space that is being controlled by the Fallen right now. They've taken this bridge. Martian, a sliver of HP, manages to survive all that Sierra damage. He gets a couple of those sticky nades onto Lampet on that Genji. There's that chain onto Ghost, but manages to survive, and Victory is going to find first blood here on Circuit. Fantastic start for the Fallen as they continue to push this reload forward. Another engage from Ghost right now. The Fallen would love to find another pick to extend this lead. Has been walking forward ever so slightly. Satori is coming back on that Sierra fairly quickly here, so there's going to be another opportunity for a recontest before that payload slides into the first checkpoint. Lamping quite low and is going to end up falling. Both supports coming alive here for the Fallen, taking down the DPS for the side of Laika, and that will be the end of it. Like you said, Ziv, it's a pretty DPS favorite map.
And the Orisa just opting to just give him a wave, like, take me, I'm ready. We do have a dupe coming on the side of Fallen here. I do wonder if we dupe that Orisa and just spin their team into us. Spin them into a bunch here. Dupe, very strong ultimate in the hands of Martian for sure.
Yeah, agree. And okay, Lampin is off that Genji. I think that the Echo proving to be a little bit too deadly for them. Rush comes out from Patch, and that's gonna prompt a response from Juno, who immediately gets sent back to the spawn. Excellent headshot there from Victory. Ghost doesn't get traded, however. Here's the Terror Surge in. Sawhill's gonna take down both supports here for the Fallen, and this is finally going to be a stabilization here for Laika on second point.
I am realizing we also have a little bit of a double flex going on with our backline. As we have the Juno Kiri option around here. To get that speed, and we are using it very well to get to corners. I mean, we took that first corner very, very quickly. And there's Juno well done.
The orbit up.
Wants to get the Sierra out of there.
Yeah, that's such a great destroy onto the drone so that Hattori had nowhere to go. Caught out on the side there. And now Ghost going in aggressive. Has that get out of jail free card. Meteor Strike comes in. Trying to stay alive here. So much damage, and that's a double kill on the punch. Super stuff here. Now, Lambda does find a pulse bomb in the backline, but I mean, Ghost is playing touch the spawn doors right now, and he's winning.
Winning for sure with that get out of jail free card for sure. We could have right into the corner for a free wall punch there. I think Sierra, that early pick on that Sierra, it really stops from that ult, that to really just pressure the point. It is a very good zoning ultimate for sure. And it does a lot of damage.
So true. Alright, well, Lampin off of the Tracer, back over onto the Genji. There's a little bit more verticality here on the third point to work with, and it's going to be the Trailblazer still ready to go from Hattori. She hasn't quite found the opening that she's looking for with this ultimate. Good amount of damage done in. Starting with the overclock. There's the Kikai Sanctuary as we expect in response to that overclock. And yeah, with Victory falling, it's a pretty clear disengage coming through for the side of the Fallen. But just wait to get that hero back into the fight before they push too hard into third. Surge online. Sawhill is looking for it. Alright, there's the
See the juicy backline for it.
We were looking for it. Yeah, and it's actually going to be Sawhill pushing in aggressively there and immediately gets punished. Nobody from Laika is able to follow up on that Terra Surge. And now, although the duplicate doesn't get the Terra Surge online, just having the tank in the fight is enough, and the Fallen will win that fight. 3.5 minutes. They are making excellent time here on circuit.
I did see the engagement with that Terror Surge, and I was like, oh, she sees the greedy backline, they want the greedy backline. But then just the dupe from Martian there, just to distract the rest of Laia's team so that she had no follow-up for that.
Yeah, basically just being a wall between her and the team. And Lampin gonna be taken down. That focusing being so deadly against the Genji. Great cleanse to come through from Juno. It's going to use the Kitsune Rush as well. Catch has one to go straight down main. Sawhill is over on that Diva now, but has immediately been team-mech'd. And without the mech, you're essentially without a tank here. Great late fight orbit here from Benji, and that will be it. 2 minutes and 39 seconds, and the Fallen will complete Circuit Royale.
Score 0-3.
Yeah, I had a feeling when after that Suravasa loss was like, I think we're gonna go to circuit. I was like, we really want a little bit of a greedy backline, but they have faith in their DPS taking great angles. Martian just absolutely destroying on the Echo. I will say they are really disengaging very well, and they do have, and Laika does have great disengages and great moments. But Fallen just kind of they stepped up. They stepped up on their attack, and we'll see how their defense goes.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that all of the matches that I have casted the Fallen in, they have come to Circuit Royale every single time. So very, very well practiced on this map, and I think showing it really well, especially on maybe a little bit of an unconventional tank here. You know, we don't get to see the Doomfist on Circuit Royale a whole lot, but you know, the team's really making it look good.
Hey there.
I do enjoy a little bit of greedy on attack, a little more divey to really get to these high grounds. If you don't get past that corner, it is very hard to take this first corner on that map. So I do agree. I am interested to see the Doomfist on defense. Into Sahil whipping out the Zarya here as well. Just give her team a little more survivability, a little more protection from their engages here.
Yep, expecting that Ghost is still going to be on this Doomfist, and they're going to put Hattori over on the Cassidy as well. So between the hinder from the Cassidy and that chain from Cinnabar, Ghost is going to have to play very, very careful here. Nice punch onto Lampin, forces the Genji to dash out. Ghost is going to try to follow up with a little bit of damage onto that. Won't quite be able to find it, as Fallen's going to give up a little bit of space here, but not going to give up this bridge for free. That focusing key from Martian gets Lampin so low. Quite finish off that Genji, however. Now around the corner, it's going to be the time to make a stand here. Excellent punch coming through from Ghost. Again, getting everybody so low, and there's the focusing beam doing exactly what it needs to. Lampin back in the spawn now. 100% charge on Sawhill, however, this Zarya is going to be so deadly if they can connect onto a squishy target. Lampin swapping over onto the Doomfist here, so this changes. Laika's trying to find an answer to this Doomfist composition. I mean, already, there's going to be ults online for the Fallen.
Eruption is pumping damage through to really build that dupe up. Ghost already has his get out of free. Oh, and we don't need any get out of jail free cards.
Yeah, that's just a great fight win there. I mean, the DPS coming alive here. The team kill for the Fallen, and they've done a great job holding this card at the corner.
Almost 5 ults online for the Fallen. I do think that Sawhill really wants to build that graph. They're really going to be looking to build that graph for this fight, because we have a lot of answers for it.
Right. There's a duplicate in. It's going to be over onto the Zarya. Forces out the Kitsune Rush from Juno. Does immediately get rid of that duplicate. Yeah,
Get stuck on the card.
Yeah, unfortunately, a little collision there. Looking for some insurance, but there's a trade that comes through. So Hattori's back at the spawn. Ghost back at the spawn as well, but he's going to be able to get back into this fight very quickly on that Doomfist. And all right, well, that Graviton Surge you were mentioning is finally ready to go here for Sawhill. Seen a lot of solo tank ults onto the tank of the Fallen. Let's see if that happens again. Here's the Kitsune Rush, or the Orbit coming through from Benji in response to that Kikai Sanctuary. Grab connect onto 2, but Cash is going to have the late Kitsune Rush here, and that is going to help keep everybody alive in that crowd. Nice shots connecting as well, and great stabilization here as the Fallen are going to deny that point cap.
We do also have Martian coming off the Echo here, just to get that touch, just to be right here for the team fight. So we did commit a lot of ults to stop that cap, and they still have quite some time to push through. Especially if they do have High Noon, they do have a Reaper ult coming up as well. High Noon will definitely make some space for us to push forward here.
Yeah, you don't really have anything to try and block that High Noon, so we'll have to see how the Fallen's gonna react to it. Punch in from Ghost to a big shot of damage onto Hattori. He's gonna be able to stay alive, and there's the Deadeye holding. Ghost ends up falling. It's a nice Suzu from Catch, and the trade comes through from Victory onto Lampin. So the Blossom out of the fight here. Trade still coming through. The DPS coming alive here for the Fallen. Victory set up on the point. This is going to be a 2v2 situation here. Victory's trying to take down the Kiriko, keeping Sawhill alive. Ghost is going to help with that task, and now it is a tank v tank situation. Overtime triggered, and the reinforcements are arriving here for the side of Laika. This Blossom ready to go, and in an overtime situation, you know exactly where the enemy team is going to be. They're going to be on the payload, and that Blossom will help secure a first point here for Laika.
Biting my fingernails over here watching Lots fight things like that. But they did, again, now Laika has committed a lot of ults to really secure that point, and we're coming up with quite a few ults of our own, and now Martian is on our new favorite hero.
Oh, yeah, Xion make. Oh, okay, well, very, very briefly, okay. Martian's gonna go back over onto the Echo, holding the Xion maybe for third point, you know, when things get really dire.
This ends now.
I wanted it, I wanted it.
Oh, what an overclock! Hits a Tori as she gets punched into the wall by Ghost. Victory's not done yet. Gonna pick up Juno as well. Cinnabar's sliver of HP, and Victory has quite the angle to try and force out these bubbles from Sawhill. And he's gonna be able to do that. Nice little 1-2 here as the team's gonna get a big
Oh,
stack.
no.
Yeah, Sawhill's gonna go for the right click. You gotta have to at that point.
That was a very, I don't think the side of Laika was really anticipating just an early overclock just from behind them. That was a beautiful use of that. But they do have that grab. Now Cinnabar on Lucio coming up with beat as well.
Punch in is going to charge up Sawhill. It's going to be the Orbit and the Meteor Strike. A little, you know, astronomical combo happening here. Makes a lot of space. Doesn't find any limbs. And now, I think Laika are looking to go in pretty hard. It's going to be the aggressive beat in. Lampin going a little bit low there. Again, nobody actually dying from that aggressive beat. Benji's kind of caught out, though. And ooh, yeah, he's going to find a headshot from Headstory. Dueling Kitsune rushes, but there's going to be 2 caught in that grab from Sawhill, and that will be enough to win the fight. A team kill for Laika as they're going to keep walking towards that second check.
Very good Alicia's on that side of Laika, really baiting that Doomfist ult to be like, look at my squishy backline, and I'm gonna grab you now.
That's exactly what they did. No, Ghost just not quite able to get the touch. I think it was actually a boost that came through from Cinnabar to deny that. So, last second, narrowly avoiding another overtime fight here. Laika will capture second point. They're going to move into third point with significantly less time in the bank, however. So if they complete Circuit, it is not going to be with more time than what Fallen were able to do.
In some dangerous territory with some double DPS ults. Here comes the OC.
Yep, alright, OC in. Trying to ignore Ghost, trying to find a squishy target, but it's the disengage that comes through from the Fallen. Excellent job to survive through that. Lampit gets the bubble, Wraith form in. Not gonna have a second bubble though, so not gonna opt to go for that Blossom. There's gonna be a duplicate on the field though. Once again, it's gonna be the copy. And ooh, as everybody's turning to look at the Echo, Lampit's gonna use that Blossom in the back line, and it's gonna find victory. And as we see Martian turn around to try and help, ends up losing the duplicate there. So it is going to be a little bit more progress here for Laika as they try to hold close to these doors.
And hold close they can do. Just that Reaper just drilling damage through the doorways. We'll get a bubble if he's taking a little bit there.
Alright, Kitsune Rush on the point from Juno here. Martian comes in for the first touch. He's gonna fall pretty much immediately. The Meteor Strike from Ghost is good to land onto the point. The beat does not come in time to keep Sawhill alive. There is an Orbit and a Kitsune Rush for the Fallen to work with here. It is just Ghost alive on the point. Now it will be Martian with one last touch, and not quite in overtime, but very, very close. Laika will complete Circuit.
Score 3-3.
Yeah, that Reaper pick is really drilling down some damage into our backline and into our tank. It's really forcing him to get out very early, and he may have a punch, but he can't use it.
Oh, so true. Yeah. Big swaps coming through. We saw Laika play quite a few different heroes, but it feels like they maybe did kind of find the answer in that Reaper composition, and then maybe have Hitoria over on that Sojourn. It seemed to be working for them. Now, since Laika had less time, they are going to be on the attack first, which means we're going to get to see what Fallen are going to be playing here, because they will be walking out of the spawn here, and they'll at least be on this composition for the first point.
Yeah, it does look like they really want to break this comp without making too many swaps here, and Lampin on the Reaper, he's like, "Yep, this is working. I'm gonna keep it with my little happy Zarya bubbles."
It's true. The bubbles have been fairly well timed. I think nice kind of patience coming through from Lampin and Sawhill. You can kind of see when Lampin will like go aggressive, thinking that there's a bubble ready, and then maybe gets the no, like don't go in, and just kind of turns around. So a lot of synergy coming through for this Laika team.
Even if he doesn't get that pick when he goes in on that first engage, he's definitely forcing a lot of our cooldowns just to be able to re-engage right after.
So true. Alright, Cinnabar is on that Lucio, so you have that speed to work with. It's gonna go for the amp speed. Whoa, Martian, so very low. The Echo will be able to survive, however. Doesn't mean that Fallen's gonna have to give up a little bit of space here as they wait for everyone to get back in. Great railgun shot. Won't find Lampin's head, but does do a good bit of damage there. And of course, only a minute on the clock here for Laika, so we're gonna be going into overtime very quickly.
It is, with these really short time banks, you really want to see, it's really who gets their ults the fastest. It does look like we are pretty neck and neck. Martian just pumping through with those stickies, really building up to that dude.
Yeah, and that's like it's gonna make such a big difference if you can get 2 tanks on the field here. It's gonna be very good for the Fallen. It is gonna be overtime triggered now, so like I have to stay on this point. And taking down Ghost is a good way to try and make that happen. And yeah, it is gonna be a flood of kills to follow there. And of course, in these overtime, the spawns are gonna take so much longer. So the Fallen, they have to regroup because some of those members just get wrong spawn.
And Laika, knowing that they have this long spawn, they are pushing right to those fresh doors.
Yeah, a stagger kill here would be absolutely massive. All right, just like it's ready to go. It is going to be a copy over onto the Zarya. Gives the bubble over onto Ghost. Just going to find the first blood in this fight. Cinnabar down. Not going to be able to build up to that feed. Meteor Strike coming through, and the grab has been built up by Martian. It is massive here, and that will be the fight win. And that is as far as Laika's going to push that payload.
Score.
Yeah, I see the grab come online. I'm just like, my Doomfist is going to engage. My Doomfist is going to get grabbed. But the grab was almost a little too close to the wall. Ghost could still get his punch off and take down the Kiriko behind the Zarya. And once your supports are gone, it's just losing battle after that.
That's it. Yep. All right. Well, I mean, okay, the Fallen know exactly where they need to get to win circuit, put themselves at a match point here, as this is a 1st to 3. So if they can pick up a win on circuit, their map pick, it'd be pretty massive.
Okay, Laika sticking with the Zarya Reaper Soj comp and the standard Kiri Lucio backline here. And we're keeping our little Doomfist comp.
All right. Like you mentioned, you know, the Doomfist on attack feels pretty good, so we'll see how it's gonna work this time around for the Fallen.
Ghost is definitely very strong at getting that high ground early and just forcing them back to the bridge. And we got a good little time bank going. If we can take the time to take our corners corner to corner and really just give us a time bank to cap with, and hopefully not be in overtime too long.
All right, let's see what they can get done. It is going to be a good amount of time, like you mentioned, for them to work with. You can just build up a bunch of ults here if you're the Fallen. Oh, great punch onto Lampin. Had the bubble to keep him alive, but not going to be able to get out in the end. And she does end up falling, so it is a trade that comes through here. But having that Reaper out of the fight, there's so much of the damage gone here for Laika. Forward. Sawhill has so much energy to work with, and Lampin should be back into this fight fairly soon, but Benji is also already back into this fight. Martian catching a railgun from Hittori there, will be able to stay alive. Another aggressive engagement here from Lampin, does get out alive, and Ghost unfortunately not going to be able to stay the same. It's going to be the Doomfist falling here, so that's going to be a bit of a backup
for the Fallen is they're going to wait for the tank before they go for another engagement.
And Ghost is already returned. Very nice to have that Doomfist mobility, especially in comps like this where you get the maps like this that our time bank is ticking down and we can get back much faster than they can.
Yes, absolutely true. So we'll see where this engagement's going to happen, because right now it looks like the Fallen are just kind of getting so much control. They're getting some push on this card, and every meter is going to make a difference here. The rush in from Catch is going to be paired with his duplicate. It is going to be a Blossom on the point, immediately shut down by Martian here. There's the beat from Cinnabar. Fallen desperately trying to disengage, and they will be able to back up, but they lose Benji in the process. Now, it's time for the Fallen to walk back in. Victory has this overclock, but with the speed from Cinnabar, it's going to be such an easy disengage from Laika right now. Ghost goes very, very deep. It is going to be the meteor strike ready to go. Oh, misses the punch on to Hitori, who's going to actually slide in aggressively with this overclock. Sawhill on the sidelines has picked up 2. Juno's going to take 2 as well, and that is a lot of time now gone from the time bank of the Fallen.
Sawhill has this grab coming up, waiting to see that Doomfist engage. He does also have his meteor strike, so he can potentially maybe escape nearly, but we do have a little bit of an ult advantage coming up to this next fight. But Juno does build that rush very, very quickly.
All right, that grab. It's in the hands. Ghost is taking down Hitori though, and Benji's gonna pop the orbit as well. So you see a Ghost kick quite aggressive here. Benji's gonna follow up with a kill on to Juno as well. And 30 seconds now. It is gonna be this checkpoint picked up by the Fallen. You can see that everybody from Laika is just backing out. Try, maybe take down Ghost here, who still has that meteor strike all this while. It is going to be a grab that connects on to victory, however, and Marshall, so both the DPS are now gone for the side of the Fallen. However, that payload's still pushing forward, and Catch on the point is doing damage. Benji's going to show up in the kill feed as well. Bubble Force out from Sawhill here. These are just not long for this world. It's just some stagger touch, and Cinnabar will get one more, but that is it. The Fallen have won their map pick, and that's going to put them at a series point here.
We can breathe now. We can breathe now. A beautiful, great choice. Great choice by Ghost to just really push them into that spawn, just letting us get that card push.
Yeah.
It's really mattered in those moments. We capped with 25 seconds. And I don't like I don't like it.
These
it's a
overtime
very entertaining game for sure.
Very stressful. Very stressful. Now, okay, this is big. Fallen win their map pick does mean that map pick is going to go over towards Laika, and they already know where we're going to go. It is going to be a hybrid map here for Laika, and well, I mean, it wouldn't really be a match unless we got to go to the old fan favorite here. So King's Row is going to be map number 4.
Actually, I've seen a King's Row in a while. I'm very busy with sports, but I'm very excited to see what. So there's definitely some things that I haven't seen. Most teams, especially at this level in this division, they do have their favorites for certain maps, and I'm curious to see if we're gonna change it up a little bit. But I have not seen us do a King's Row yet, so I'm looking forward to it.
True. Yeah, you know what? I don't know that I've seen I'm saying it's a fan favorite because, like, I mean, you know, most people do really like King's Row.
Most comp things, yeah.
Yeah, right? But, you know what? I don't know that I've actually seen that much King's Row in any of these matches. I feel like I've oddly seen Nambani a bunch of times, which is hilarious because I feel like people don't usually like Nambani.
Nubani is very team-oriented, so it does make sense, especially at this level, to enjoy maps like that. It's a very team-oriented map. Really have to be in sync with your front to back. on those kind of maps. And even Kings Row does have its moments with. It does have some awkward high grounds and angles that you really need to commit for, and you really need to protect your team to do so.
Yes. All right. Now, of course, Laika had the first hero ban as well, and I don't think that you or I are going to be surprised. Doomfist has been banned out for the side of Laika, and then in response, the Fallen have banned out the Symmetra, so we did see Hattori play that sim, so not going to be able to play that here on Kings.
I think I do really like that pick, especially talking about that high ground on Kings Row. There's not a lot of options, not a lot of ways to get to those high grounds, and taking away the sim from them will really force them to make rotations, make mistakes, get poked out. So big ban on the side of Fallen here. Benji again with the mercy.
All right, Benji, let's see it. Come on, they're on the defense this time, so.
Maybe we'll see it on offense. Maybe we'll see an offense, little Widow one shot.
Yeah, right. We a little damage boost going on here. Yeah. Last Benji is off of the Widow, but Boochops is in and is on the Malga.
And we do have Sawhill on that Sigma again, back to his happy Sigma, just to really eat up all of our Malga damage. And I do see Hattori pulling out the Mei as well.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, and an Ana pick. Yeah, they really wanna pick on our front line here with this Mei. Oh no, we took away the Ana. Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, we might see the return of the Ana. Who knows? Once they see Bootchop is in fact on that mount, that might make a bit of a difference. Oh no, Benji has fallen already. Cinnabar's gonna find first blood here, and Bootchop is very quick to follow after that. Once you lose one of those supports, it is so hard to keep that Malga in the fight, and I mean. Laika have more or less just strolled on the first point of Kings.
They did. They really did that. I don't think they were expecting that Wu Yang. Those orbs just coming around that corner and just getting that first pick there. I don't even think they were expecting it.
Right. Oh, okay. Actually, looks like a slight contest there, but otherwise looks like the Fallen are going to set up for the streets fight here. As a little over 5.5 minutes for Laika to work with, but it's tough to find their way through this archway, especially now that Boochop is kind of set up here. It's easy on Hattori to try and use one of these Mei walls to find a split, like you mentioned, onto Boochop.
Is building that overclock very, very fast off of our poor little Boochops. Big tank, big target. Okay, there's a rush coming out from Juno.
Yup, rush is in. That might be enough for Laika to walk through this check for this choke point, but they do that, and immediately there's so much damage that comes in. Martian, who made this swap over on to the Echo, already has that duplicate ready to go, and Benji over onto the Lucio as well. I mean, the swaps came through so quickly for the Fallen that it didn't even really matter when it came to the ult charge.
We did flip that fight without using any ults of our own, so now we have this chance. We have a rush of our own. We have our dupe already. Bootchop's coming up on that cage, potentially just to negate this OC that Lampet has coming up here.
Yeah, true, that OC is ready to go. The beat not quite online for Benji just yet, but it's building up to it fairly quickly. Idle Blast online for Cinnabar as well. It is going to be the Kitsune rush out first from Patch. Once again, going to be a solo flux, I believe, onto the tank there. Boochop does see a lot of damage, but manages to stay alive, and with Hattori down, that's your little mini tank out of the fight here. Good trade coming through from Lampin. However, Martian had that duplicate ready to go, so to use that in this fight. And it looks like the Fallen actually wants to go for a disengage here. They want to wait for Martian to get back into the fight, which does mean a bit of a free cart push for Ooh, as I say that, right on the corner, it's going to be the cage fight in, but immediately gets burned down. Boochop manages to stay alive, however, so it will be just a disengage to the next corner here for the Fallen to get another fight in. So many ults ready to go here for Laika. It is going to be a Kitsune rush out. It's going to be the beat from Benji in response. It's going to be the solo Blizzard on to Boochop. Just really getting to experience the tank life here in Overwatch. And with a couple of late kills in the fight, it's looking pretty good for Laika to cap second point.
I'll pretend I didn't see that.
They are really just hammering down on our front line here, just with the course of damage and the freeze and just eating all the damage on the Sigma end. He has shield, he has his eat. He can kind of just negate a lot of damage that we could potentially put onto his backline.
Yep, that's exactly it. And free ult for both of these teams. It is going to be Cat with the Kitsune advantage here. And into that Kitsune rush. Tidal Blast over onto Lampage, who has gone in very aggressively with this overclock, and he's going to get punished for it. Just like it came out from Martian, got deleted pretty much immediately, but Martian managed to stay alive through it. So that is going to be a nice and tight swing here for the Fallen, looking for a little bit of a cleanup, and they will find just that.
I'm here.
Lampit had some a big shot of courage with that Wuye ult. I really wanted to get in on that backline, but had no follow-up afterwards. But that's a me. That's something I would do for sure.
Yep, me too. 100%.
The bubble of protection.
Yeah,
I can do anything.
Okay, there's the flux in. This time, only going to connect onto Benji, who unfortunately is going to also eat a rail gun there. So the Lucio back in the spawn here, and no ult for the Fallen to try and turn this back in their favor. It's going to be a disengage that comes through. Blue Chop's going to get healed up, and Martian's going to try to build up to that duplicate once again.
Benji did not quite have beat for that flux, and he was just like, if I'm gonna get beat by it, I guess it's me.
Yep, that's right. Nice sacrifice from the Lucio with the Fallen there. Alright, Kitsune Rush ready to go. Juno is going to commit it pretty much immediately. Suzu comes out, and Martian with those sticky nades once again going to find the Linger. Bluechop does end up getting traded out, though. It's even numbers on both teams. Great sticky nades, and Benji's going to be the follow-up there, but a nice rock is going to take Benji out of the fight. It is a Mei and a Sigma on the point for the side of Laika, and with a late kill. Oh, actually, Sahil finds victory there, but the focusing beam from Martian really just forcing Sahil to back up a little bit here. Chop already at half HP as well. Has to use that shout. Gets the walls off. Going to use the cage fight. Oh, yes, loses the nail, but immediately cancels that cage. Absolutely brilliant play there. Needs to try and stay alive. Martian duplicates the Kiriko to try to keep the Chop up, but he's going to be able to do that. The Tidal Blast once again on to Lampit, the team kill, and that will be King's Row completed by Laika.
Hello.
Like, it does have this Sigma comp in the bag. Every time they whip it out, it's just, they're just walking, cruising through the maps. I do wonder if Fallen's gonna have an answer for it when it comes to their attack.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see, especially because like the Fallen have already banned the Sigma, right? So if we go, I mean, if Laika wins this, we're going to a map number 5, and the Fallen's not gonna have that Sigma band in their pocket. It is going to be a push map, and they will at least get to choose which push map we go to, but I don't know. It's going to be tough, but that's a map 5 problem, honestly.
That's a map 5 problem, if it gets there,
Yes.
if it gets there. Manifesting. But, again, with the push map, Sigma does have his weaknesses, especially with us having a Doomfist in the bag.
Yes.
Just being able to get around the Sigma. It is a little more difficult when you gotta take the Sigma head on, especially in a map like this where if you just poke forever. But even Sunbar with the poke from the Wu Yang here, and the Tori with the walls and the freezes, and maybe we will see a Widow one-shot coming out here to get an early pick.
No! Benji, this is your chance! This is your chance!
Benji, this is your chance! Whip it out! Where's the mercy?
Alright.
He has full faith in his hit scan that the hit scan will one-shot somebody. Oh,
No, it was a headshot though, so
was a
power to
headshot.
you, victory.
Forced out a lot of cooldowns from that Sigma there. And I mean, Martian's going in, trying to capitalize on it. At least this does allow for the Fallen to get through that check kill point pretty easily. You're gonna make it
even just opening on that Widow, they really just gotta not peek anything, so it does let us walk up a little more freely.
right. Bluechop is up here, like he is ready to go on this high ground already, just waiting for Martian to get in position on this Echo. It is going to be a drop down onto the low ground here
For the side of Laika.
This is actually big for the Fallen, because now everybody's on this low ground. You don't have to worry about that long rotation. They just stomp in onto Sahil, the shout in as well, the leap Sigma. Oh, the wall does, throw for a loop for a second there, but Bootdrop's gonna be able to stay alive through it. There's still stabilization here for the Fallen. They're gonna start to put some percentage on the point.
You actually see we are running that double flex backline again. We do have that Juno Kiri with our Genji catch backline, which has worked very well for them so far, especially on circuit, just pumping out damage on the backline and the front line. May dupe.
Is gonna help the
Sigma cannot eat the May.
No, right? That kinetic grasp is not gonna help in this situation. It gets the Blizzard online. A mere zoning ult here as the Fallen will pick up the first point. Maybe not quite as quick as Laika, but still very fast.
Martian just builds this dupe so quickly. It is just a very great benefit to always have either a second tank or just something that will counteract these Sigma. We're still on the Sigma here. He cannot eat the May freeze.
That's right. The Fallen have been able to take so much space on street space here as well, which unfortunately for Laika, because they have this May, they would love to be able to hold at that archway. It's so easy to split off the front line that way, but it doesn't work. Like, Pat's gonna pop the Kitsune Rush first. He's gonna respond with one. There's a stalemate on this corner. Benji's gonna try to turn things with the Orbit. Victory's gonna commit this overclock as well.
They really want to burst through this corner.
Yeah, right, and they haven't quite been able to do it. That Blizzard really slowed things down here. Martian's gonna end up falling. Oh, the wall, not quite to cover all escape routes for Bootchop, but that will be a fight win for Laika, and now they're gonna be in control of this archway.
And Laika just keeping an ult advantage on that fight. We really wanted to take that corner away from them, knowing they probably have that May ult coming up, knowing they have that flux coming, and we do not have a beat to counteract the upcoming flux.
Charge coming in from Bootchop does force out the wall from Hattori, so at least that's going to allow for the rest of the Fallen to walk in unscathed. There's the cage fight in from Bootchop. Zahil's actually going to be a recipient of that tidal blast. The overclock comes out from Lampin and all damage going into Bootchop. He's going to send that Malga back to the spot. However, Zahil gets traded out, so no tanks for either side. Hattori acting as the mini tank for the team of Laika right now. He's showing a lot of respect here. Don't want to push too hard. They really want to get their tanks back to fight.
Martian does have their dupe online, and here comes two Malgas.
Yeah, both hearts pumping, 4 hearts pumping. It is going to be an elim here for Martian. It's the cage online as well. Catches Hattori in it. Catches Zahil. Cancels out that flux as well. As all right, 2 Malgas will win the fight and will get this second checkpoint.
You can stop one Malga, but you can't stop 2. Big ult. Martian having the only ult online for that fight into Laika having 3, I believe, on the board there. And we just ran all through.
Yeah, moving into the third point. Good time bank here. Martian falling quite low. Getting the kills that are needed. Kitsune rushes popped at both at the same time. Blizzard gets thrown in from Hattori as well. Doesn't end up catching anything. And Bootchop has found his way into a very tiny corner and will pay for that. But it will be a fight win here for Laika, and they're going to stabilize on third.
I was quite wondering how my Bootchop got over there. I do think the May freeze coming out did spook him into a little corner there.
A little bit of a zoning Blizzard. Yep, it happens.
Up with this dupe again. Opening with an overclock of victory.
Right, takes Lampin off at the high ground there, so this is going to allow for more space, and there is the shot Victory was looking for. The orbit from Benji ends up actually splitting off Sawhill. He's going to once again be the recipient of that tidal blast, caught in the cage. Is not going to be able to stay alive through it. Overclock is out from Lampin, but everybody's looking at this Sojourn, and Martian will be the one to finish them off. Still has this duplicate in the back pocket, but just won't need it.
Again, the Fallen have gone through a point with a slightly bigger time bank. Not very much on both sides. A great push from both sides. I think we've done it. I think we've found a way to push through that Sigma. It's winnable. It's winnable.
Absolutely. Okay, so once again, yeah, Laika's gonna have that smaller time bank here, so they are gonna be on the attack first. So we'll have to see if the Fallen maybe learned anything from that first point attack. See if they're gonna have a little bit more of a stall maybe on first point this time.
I do think we got caught off guard on that first attack. Lampet is potentially whipping out the Shion.
Thinking about it. Thinking about
Baited.
it. There's
Thinking
still
about
time.
it.
There's still
Thinking
time.
about- oh, there's still time.
Oh, yeah.
They are thinking about it potentially, especially with her movement and her capabilities, just to get behind for this attack. They do have a small time bank. I think they do want to push and to make the Fallen turn around for this Shion to hopefully let Sahil just kind of walk on in. But again, we are keeping our double flex back line here, which really pumps Boop Chop with those heals, really keeps him alive with all the damage that he's taking here.
Yeah, that's so true.
Attackers incoming.
Okay, Martian is going to be over on the Tracer, so off of that Echo, and yeah, Lampet sticking on this Shion here. So the Shion Sojourn lineup is going to be a stomp in. Victory's going to find first blood. Cinnabar does not make it through the choke point here, and Bootchop looking to get aggressive. Wants to maybe take down Sawhill as well. Would love a late stagger kill, but won't get too greedy.
And Lampent is going to the Genji.
That's a pretty quick swap, yeah. Alright. Not a whole lot of time to work with, so yeah, Laika has to make all the quick decisions that they can. There's another stop in from Boot Chop, and of course, in these overtime rounds, you're gonna have all perks available right away, so you gotta be so worried about the charge through to get lit on fire. This is a trade that comes through. No, it's down though, so there's a lot of healing gone from Laika, but Lampent is alive and well on this Genji. Hattori's gonna show up as well, and hey, it was a stronger defense here on first point, but Laika is still gonna break through and get the cap.
And looking on the sides of our ultimate, so we do have a nice overclock coming up here for victory, but Sawhill is building that flux, and we do not quite have the answer for a boot shot, not quite at his cage. Benji not quite at their orbital ray, so Sawhill may have an uncontested little flexor to secure this first corner.
Yep. And of course, 15 seconds now, so we're heading into overtime very, very shortly. So it's going to be on Laika to stay on this part at all times. Pulse bomb ready to go here from Laika. It's a charge in, connects onto Cinnabar with the help of Boot Chop. There's that flux. It is going to find a couple, but it doesn't actually find the Owens. Both supports gone. The pulse bomb stick on to Sawhill, and that will be it. The blade in vain will be shut down before a swing comes out, and a little touch here from Cinnabar. There's a cage on the point though, so the next touch to come through will surely be the last. The orbit in celebration as well as the Kitsune, and that is a stronghold here for the Fallen.
A strong hold indeed. Really being able to split that Sigma from their backline, just marching on this Tracer, just being the rat in the walls, just kind of making them turn around and having that Sigma just split from their team entirely. He does get the flux off, but no follow-up to secure any of the kills for it.
Yeah, fantastic job here from the Fallen. This is really good. You know, they have a little bit more time to work with, so you know, it might not make a massive difference here, but if they can put up a same showing as they did with the first point cap they did, you know, you really just have to win kind of one fight after that to get through onto Street Space. So definitely a good opportunity for the Fallen to close this series out here and now, but Laika are definitely not out of things just yet, and on their defense, they're going to start with Lampent on that Shion.
We are keeping our back line, and Xion, I do wonder if they're trying to bait the Fallen in to that high ground a little bit, just to force us into that null and narrow corridor for the Xion has her motorcycle does quite a bit of damage to her backline. And if Martian does whip out the Tracer again, which he is on the Echo, but it does one-shot a Tracer.
Yeah.
So...
Alright, no maid to be worried about, so Boot Camp is going to just stroll through the first choke point. Gonna play around statue now, and Martian's gonna look to get a bit of an angle. Already so much damage done on to Sawhill. Charge through, the Fallen are gonna find a little bit of a split there. He's gonna be able to find the limb, however, and the shout not quite online for Chop just yet, but now as it's ready to go, another aggressive charge in. Victory's gonna finish off Sawhill, and this is gonna be a pretty rough here for Laika. They do not want to get staggered late. If you end up with those long spawns, it is gonna take so many steps to get back to this archway.
Limpet is still in their backline, just ready to go in when their team comes back. Did get caught on fire, but I think did secure the Mega over there to stay alive for their team.
Yeah, still alive over there. And big for Laika is that everybody did get those close spawns, which they're gonna absolutely need here if they want to hold this corner. Oh, Martian, sliver of HP, great TP in from Catch to make sure the Echo is alive. Limpet is still back here, still alive, still with damage. He's gonna take out Catch. The Kitsune rush from Juno. Aggression here for Laika as they are gonna win that fight and be able to kind of get set up here onto the corner once again. Sawhill actually gonna push forward and take the high ground right above the spawn.
We are ticking down that timeline with 20 seconds left. Someone does have a flux coming.
Martian trying to get a flux for their own. It's gonna be a nice chunk of damage. Has it online. There's the flux in. Connections on to 2. And it's gonna be the beat that comes through Victory. An aggressive slide in is going to get punished. There's a cage on the point. There's like a Kitsune rush on the point. The Fallen are throwing everything at it. Tori finds the head of Martian, but the support all from Banshee happening later in the fight, and that is it. The Fallen will pick up King's Row, and they will take this series.
Very fun series to watch. Very great showing from both teams. I was on the edge of the seat the whole time. It was great showing from Laika. The 3-1 may not show it, but it was well thought.
Oh my gosh, so many of I mean the control points and the flash points, a 99 to 100, like everything was so close here. I mean, Circuit and King's Row, absolute nail biters from both of these teams. As take a little look at the stats here. Bootop nearly 20k damage, Martian above 20k damage. Really amazing showing from the Fallen.
And our cute little backline with those almost 20k heals, just keeping our tanks alive and just committing to those charges is just what makes their team synergy is really special to watch.
Oh yeah, I totally agree. I always have so much fun casting the Fallen, and you know what? This has been so much fun as well, Sif. I am so glad. Everybody, big shout out to Sif, the manager for the Fallen, getting to tune in here and cast some of the matches. Thank you so much for joining me, Sif.
Yes, absolutely. It was my pleasure. I'd love to co-cast again sometime, but very busy lady, very busy things.
Yeah.
But yes, I was your support duo and now I'm your cast duo.
Yeah! All right, everybody. Thank you so much once again for coming out to support the Fallen. Big congratulations to them as they are moving closer to that even win-loss ratio here with this victory over Laika. But that will do it for us here tonight. But stay tuned to the Fallen Discord and the Twitter to find out when we're going to be able to get another co-stream in. So until next time, I've been Rain, joined by Sif, and yeah, stay tuned.
Bye.